This is probably the most important lesson of it all, and you need to clear this thing off right away, because if you really want to get your dream job, you need to start thinking differently. Because people who land their dream job, they are not ordinary people. They are somebody who have thought differently, approached differently, and did everything differently. In this entire course, I'm going to show you a very different approach than what everyone else in the world teaches. This is not a very common approach that I say, cold emailing people and sending the right kind of cold email, or approaching, or many other tactics that I'm going to show you. They are not very common. Commonly, people would just apply in a job portal and hope for a selection, which is very inefficient in itself. Since we are taking a very different approach, you need to think in very different terms. Getting a job or getting your dream job is all about having the right mindset, and this is the most important thing. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's see how having the right mindset can get you a very good job. I kind of introduced you to this particular module in the last video, where I mentioned you need to think like an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur thinks for his business, his or her business, right? All I'm asking you is to care for the business in which you're applying for. Now you might ask me, okay, this way I might have to care for hundreds of different businesses. Yes, you have to do initially, because now you don't have a choice, because you want to get a new job or get your first job. And an entrepreneur who actually hires you wants to see how passionate you are regarding his own niche, not just his company. That's a separate thing. In his niche, how much are you motivated to work in that particular niche? Because every businessman and every entrepreneur knows that if you don't like your work, you're not going to survive in that. All right? So you need to think like one. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to build a personal brand. Build a personal brand in a particular niche. Niches is a combination of two things. One is a skill. Second is an industry. For example, let's say your skill is content writing and an industry is e-commerce or health. Content writing for businesses in health industry. Content writing for businesses in consulting or coaching industry. Copywriting for coaches, copywriting for hotels. So this combination of skill and an industry is something that keeps you separate from the herd. Now that you have picked a niche, next step is to start publishing on that niche. Let's say you want to help coaches and consultants. You can start publishing in that industry. How can coaches and consultants land their clients, and how can they nurture their clients, and how they can improve the lifetime value of their clients, and many more. Right? So that's what brings you to the limelight. That's what makes you known in a particular niche. Since I am a content marketer, for e-commerce. But you need not be fixated to one particular niche. You start with one, but eventually you expand into many other. That's completely fine. But you start with just one. I started with e-commerce. Now I do content marketing for SaaS products, and also content marketing for businesses, coaches, and so many other things, right? You can do the same. Next mindset lesson that I want to teach you is not to settle for lower quality. So I was in an interview once. I was talking to this business person, and what happens was I observed his email. I observed some faults in his emails, and I was going on and on about how he can fix it, how he can increase the delivery rates of his emails, and where he is going wrong. Now, this guy told me, hey Jayant, I don't care about what you are talking. I just want an email marketer. So I declined that client, because that client did not have that passion. He was not serious about email at all. Now, he might be a good client. He might be paying me a lot of money, but people who do not have passion are not the kind of people you want to work with. It's okay. It's okay to reject 98% of your clients and just settle for 2% of them. It's okay to let go of 100 jobs and settle for that one job which just resonates with you, and in which people are really, really passionate about that thing, right? Because there are millions of businesses in India and abroad, right? All you need is one job. So you don't have to worry about if one client goes, but please do not settle for clients who are not passionate about their business, right? Next step, Have the right pitch. Most people think that if I send a cold email with a cold pitch, I will get rejected. But you know what? Every businessman knows how to sell, and every businesses have a respect for a good salesman. If you want to marry a girl on the very first date, you are never going to get it, right? So in that case, you don't need to pitch in your first email. Rather, if you provide the right kind of value and the right kind of offer, no businessman can ever refuse. Now here is what I want to tell you. Nobody wants to get sold, but everybody loves to buy. And nobody wants to get sold on day one. So do not start pitching on day one of your email, on the very first email, because that's a great no-no. Do not ask for that. If you send an email to a bunch of people, like tens or let's say thousands of people, maybe you can attract a couple of people who really need you. But the thing is, do you really want to have such a client? Don't you want to understand that client better? So it's best that you understand your prospect business like it's your own. Alright, you need to find out possible shortcomings. Let's say you are a social media marketer and you want to work for an e-commerce agency. That's your niche, right? You visited e-commerce websites, Instagram profile, you visited their social profile, you checked out their ads, and you found out that their Instagram followers can be increased so that they get more brand value out of it. That's something that can be improved. Now, when you go ahead and pitch in your cold email, and you tell them a proper step-by-step solution with which they can increase their organic Instagram followers and their credibility, that will impress them. Not, hey, I want to work for you, give me a job. You provide that value, and nobody, I tell you, nobody can ignore good value. And that's all you need to do. It's just like dating, dude. Like if you ask a girl for a date, you don't ask them to marry on the day one, right? You ask them for a cup of coffee. Next up, you ask them for a movie. Next up, you might get more and more intimate, right? Job hunting or sales is the same approach. You start by providing some value from your own and obtain a commitment. A commitment can be as simple as, hey, if you're interested, reply to this mail. Hey, if you're interested, why don't you let me interview on my YouTube channel? If you're interested, why don't we get on a call? I can show you everything step by step. It's not a cold pitch, but hey, this is what you can do to your business. Now, when you ask for smaller commitments, it seems risk-free and it reduces the risk. It is risk-free. I mean, all they are doing is giving you a reply. Even if it's a negative one, they are giving you a reply. And that's all you need to aim for. Right? Now, the last tip of the day, do not give up. Now, I have seen a lot of people give up just after 2 or 3 emails. All I'm asking you to not give up until you reach 3,600 emails. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine if you just send 10 cold emails a day. That means you are sending 300 emails per month. That's 3,600 emails in one whole year. That means you are building your connection to 3,600 businesses. That's not a small thing. You are providing value to 3,600 businesses. Don't you think any one of these businesses will reply you back interested in your services? Now that is the power of email marketing, especially the cold email marketing. If you are really serious to hunt for your job, develop this mindset of not giving up. Even if you're sending 5 emails per day, by the end of this year, you would have approached 1,800 businesses. That's still not a small thing. Even if you target 3 emails per day, that's 90 emails a month, and that is roughly 1,080 businesses in one whole year. Imagine if you reach out to 1,000 businesses. Don't you think any one of them would be interested in your services? That is what you need to cultivate, the ability to not give up no matter what. In the next module, I'm going to show you how you can craft your own project, how you can use your skill to develop a project, and finally build a lot of portfolio for yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.